Hello and welcome to episode 12 of 8-Bit Bastards. Tonight we are going to go through the Normal Oceans Act 1, talk about games, lots of retro stuff on the agenda this evening. Act 2 we will have our new What If segment. We got a really good one tonight, and then we'll go into some randomness on the 30 minutes of miscellaneous crap. We also want to have you hit up our website. Please check it out. We got some new sprites and things on there. We're hopefully going to get a Flash edition added to it as well. Please check out our YouTube, go to our Facebook and like that as please, and always subscribe and like as well. And without further ado, joining this evening,
Brad,
Justin, Jacob.
Welcome, gentlemen. So tonight, Brad, you're going to rant about something?
Yeah, no, I do have something to rant about. Don't get me wrong, though, I really like Monster Hunter Ultimate for the Wii U. It's awesome. I borrowed Justin's Wii U so I could play it, and it's a really good game. I'm quite shocked at how much I enjoy playing it. I don't know, though. Combat-wise, very spot on. I like the fact there's a bunch of weapons in it, so you can switch around. If you don't really like a certain class, you can bounce around, see what you want to play as. The downside of the game, I think Justin probably already announced it, but it has no auto-lock, no targeting system. So, like, if enemies evade, you keep swinging forward, and you have to stop, break combo, and then, like, try to either pan around, or you can evade roll, and you can relock, kind of like, when you come out of the evade roll, you can attack in that direction.
Can you go a little more detail? Because I'm kind of fuzzy on the controls. I don't remember if we went into a lot of that.
We talked about it a little bit when I was playing it, but he can explain it more. The downside for me when I was playing it was the combat, what he's explaining, and the camera. The way the camera works is a little off, and he can probably explain a little bit better.
I don't know. I don't have any problem with the camera. It pans around just like any game. Right stick moves it around, or you can use the D-pad. The D-pad, though, is kind of awesome because it goes in clicks. So you can just literally, if you just want to pan it up like 2 spots like above your character, you just hit it twice and it'll just move it up a little bit. Kind of nice. But I don't know, control-wise, I use the dynamic control setup. There's 2 different types of setups. By dynamic, it literally takes everything off the screen. The only thing I see on the screen is environment, enemies, and my character. I don't even see health bars, stamina, any of that. It's all on the Wii U tablet controller. So don't get me wrong, I can see where people will gripe and be like, I don't want to look down the whole time while I'm playing. But yeah, I don't know, I haven't had that problem with it. It's more convenient. It kind of feels like you're playing a really big DS game.
Yeah, I would think so, because you don't need to see your health at all times, do you?
No.
You just kind of keep an eye on it.
You know you're beating the tar out of things,
yeah.
So you don't have to worry about it. Don't get me wrong, though. I haven't done any of the big hunts. I'm sure as it gets a little bit further in the game, it'll probably be a little bit more convenient to have the health bar displayed on the screen.
When I played, I didn't set anything, but I don't think it takes away from the game to have it on there. Because the only thing I try to pay attention to most is the stamina. Because if you're rolling and attacking, your stamina will drop pretty quickly.
Well, like I said, it's something I don't know. It doesn't even bother me to glance down every once in a while and just look at the bottom screen. That and all your items are set up really fast on the fly. Like, you can switch things, the map's all down there. It's kind of nice. Don't get me wrong, though. I'm sure if being the video game nerds that we are, it's like no different than Dynasty Warriors with having your health bar and map HUD up. If you do the, I want to say it's advanced setting or whatever, where it shows all your stuff on the screen. But control-wise, left stick moves you around, right stick switches camera, D-pad will move camera as well. The only thing that's weird, and I think it's a Nintendo thing, is it's so weird with how they put their B and A and Y and X or whatever, because Y sheaths your weapon and X pulls or draws it. And X and A will attack, and B is back. But the way it feels is like, I guess it's so because we're so used to the Xbox and the PS3, like circle and B are both on the same side of the screen, which is always to go back with menus. And for this, it's not. It's where the X button would be or the A button. So it's like it's very backwards feeling. So that's weird to get adjusted to. I mean, other than that, it's not too bad on controls. I have to say, I was quite impressed. I was worried I wasn't going to like the tablet controller, and I was going to have to go steal his Elite controller today.
What's an Elite controller?
It's
it's
basically the controller it's the same thing that everyone was like, oh, it's the same thing in Xbox. It's literally an Xbox controller, but instead of the stick being down on the right, it's up on the right, so it's above Y, X, A, B, or Y, yeah, because that's what
probably not too bad.
Yeah, it's really not, but like he was saying about, it is literally opposite. Like, the way an Xbox controller set up, it's X, Y, A, B. It's literally backwards. Where Y is where X is, and vice versa for A and B. So it's literally playing an Xbox controller in reverse.
Do you find that hinders you drastically very often, or have you adapted very quickly? In
the beginning, it did, but once I started to play it, I would mess up sometimes, but once I really got into it, it wasn't as bad. But I did mess up more times than not messing up.
Now, are
Yeah.
you significantly farther than him? Because you'd only played it a little bit. We didn't have...
I only played it for maybe like 2 hours. I did like 3 or 4 hunts, and that was really it.
Did you swim or any of that?
Nope. I
Oh,
didn't
see,
swim.
yeah, I'm a good little bit ahead of him then. I put like probably 4 or 5 hours into the game already. But it's a long tutorial and it explains a lot of stuff because there's a lot to it. I mean, there's all the mineral gathering, all that stuff. Even when you were, like what I said, I did the swimming mission where you have to swim, go hunt these fish. And the fish, if you don't shoot them with the fisherman harpoon after attacking them and weakening them, you can't harvest anything from their bodies. So there's all sorts of crazy aspects on top of the fact, like I said, all the different weapons, bows, lance guns, the lance itself, two-handed swords, dual blades, sword and shield. I mean, there's a whole slew of items. But I don't know, I love the game. Everything I played on it, I can't wait to go home and play it. Like, that's literally what I'm going to go home and play all night. I'm going to do multiplayer tonight. A friend of mine has it. I've been wanting to play it with. I just didn't hit him up today because he had to work.
Because you didn't get to play multiplayer.
No, I didn't get a chance, which I was actually going to play with our friend Jared, and I just never got around to actually doing it with him.
So what is the enticement to play the multiplayer?
Actually, because hunting the monsters, they get big and crazy and strong, and you can't kill them by yourself. In the end, your goal is to work with people in the game. It was originally a game that they brought over on PS2. It's just back in the day, Sony Network just was horrible. So Monster Hunter never blew up over here.
Yeah.
It's really big overseas. And like I said, it's one of the reasons I've always wanted been wanting a Wii U. My big gripe with it, though, is that you can use your Triton headsets on them, or Turtle Beaches, if you have the headsets that are adaptable for the Wii U. The big gripe is that it says all you do is you just plug your headset in, and it'll work. But it does not. You plug your headset in, and the only thing you get is sound effects. You don't get any music, and I couldn't get my mic to work. So I sat there for probably 30 minutes just swearing, trying to figure out how to get it all set up. I think what I'm going to have to do is probably go back and either go over to Justin's house and steal a Wii U component cable or the normal AV cable and hook it up like you do Xbox-type headset.
The Wii U doesn't have one on the back that has a... you have to buy an attachment to use component cables.
It has,
That's what I was heard. I couldn't find them on the back of mine. That's what I was heard too.
it's right on the back, man.
I
saw it last night. I was like, oh, there's the...
But it doesn't come with them.
No, it comes with HDMI. It's because it's meant to be... It's a high-def system. That's
Yeah.
what Nintendo's the whole theme was. They did give you the...
We could open the box and see.
Oh yeah, but they do give you the option to use old AV cables or component cables for it. But that was really my only gripe is the not getting my Turtle Beaches or my Tritons to work with them because I was trying to play them silently last night.
Now, is this your first real endeavor into the Wii U?
Yes. Until Bayonetta 2 comes out, and so far so good. Like I said, I was very worried that the controller when I first started to play. That was going to be horrible, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's really not that bad having the screen set up like that. It's kind of nice not having any clutter on there other than just my character and beating the tar out of all the little crazy dinosaur monsters.
Do you think that it didn't feel cumbersome because you have a touch phone, maybe you play with an iPad, you're used to that, you kind of maybe set it down in your lap a little bit, or do you feel you're holding it up?
Oh no, I'm holding it up. Like where I hold it, it's almost bottom level of my television to where it's just literally a glance down and there's everything.
I meant Vita. You have a Vita, right?
Well, yeah, I have a Vita, but like you said, I mean, I can see like a couple years back it probably would have been a pain in the ass for most people, but in the way technology is now, we all use so many like touch smart devices. It's really fast. Like, it's not hard, and on top of the fact there's a whole bunch of actual quick commands that you can do with the controller that still access all the touch menu stuff. So if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. Like, if I want to fast swap items, you just hold the left button and hit X or A, and it'll go left and right for your item fast swap. And then you let go of left, hit Y, and you'll use your items.
Okay. So if a listener is like apprehensive about getting the Wii U, maybe they don't want to spend the money on Xbox One or a PS4, they want a next-gen system, they can get one now. This is not a deal breaker. If you're used to using an iPad, if you're used to using a Vita, a DS XL, or 3DS XL or something, this is not that much further away from that.
Yeah, well, the only true downside I will say to the game is it has a pretty generic character creation.
I was just talking about the pad.
Yeah. Well, no, like I said, that's, other than that, the controls and everything for it are very smooth. There's no gripes there.
Battery life on that pad? Does it take AAAs, AA's or something?
Oh, no, it's recharge.
Oh.
You plug it in. It actually has a pretty decent length. I mean, I sat and played it for, like I said, a few hours, and I didn't die. I hardly ever plug it too.
Well, I thought you were going to get the Luigi game and stuff. Can you let him borrow it?
I have it. I have it all in there.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
I
have
was
that
mad.
and Homefront.
I know. Well, I got home last
I'm
night
down.
and I was like, I was laughing.
Earthbound?
Or whatever. the fuck
Yeah.
it's called. I might be.
But no, I was laughing last night because when I got home with it, I was like, haha. I was like, I got Mario too because I figured Mario was in the system. And fucking Nintendo Land, god damn it. That might be my biggest gripe of the whole night was I was like, fuck, I can't even play Luigi Bros. I was like, damn it. Because I was really looking forward to actually getting to play Luigi Brothers, but I left Mario at his house, so.
Is that mini games the Nintendo Land?
Yeah. Which
So it's like
don't-
Mario Party?
No, what it is Nintendo Land it has a bunch of mini games in it, yes, but it's not really like a party game system. Like there's a Pikmin game where your Mii turns into one of the Pikmin guys. There's a Metroid game where you're dressed as Samus. There's a Link one, so on and so forth. But it's really fun actually because you can play two. I've only seen 2 player with it, so I haven't seen like 4 or 5.
I might pick up Pikmin for your Wii U.
I just told Rebecca today.
I completely forgot that was coming out.
I saw the
Just-
commercial and it's like Pikmin 3 now available. I'm like, I did not know Pikmin was out. I thought it wasn't come out till like next month, and I was like, I'm gonna buy that bitch. I'll probably Black Friday because Pikmin was fantastic. I love that game.
One of the best games I ever played on the GameCube.
Very cool. Any other questions on Monster Hunter? How much was it? 50?
I want to say it's $59.99.
Wii games are $60.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they're Blu-ray disc. I mean, they're the same as what we're using for any of the next gen stuff or current PS3.
Right. Well, Nintendo games have consistently been $50, 30, 40, 50 for the last, all the Wii games, so.
I got mine off Amazon for 30. So.
Because I'm an Amazon Prime, and I'm so awesome.
Whatever. You guys can spend $60 on it. I got that bitch for half the price.
You're so awesome, Justin.
I am all.
Or you can buy it from your local realtor. Or realtor.
Jesus. I'm
Retailer.
drunk.
I'm drunk. No.
The high and drunk episode.
Yeah, apparently.
Not even that high.
Anything else, Brad, on Monster Hunter?
Like I said, my biggest gripe for game itself is the crappy customer or character customizing. There's really not a lot of detail to it. I cannot speak today. I don't know. The reason that makes up for it though is that I know later in the game through all the playing and finding materials and gathering things that the game has crazy amounts of customizable armor. And that's really the selling theme for me always, is that I always see all these crazy sets of armor for the game and weapons, and that's really what I strive to get. I figure I'll play it for the next 20 or 30 days or hours, because Tuesday Dragon's Crown comes out, and that's what my life will be for the next 2 weeks.
All right, so next week I do definitely want to follow up on this with the crazy armor that you've got, and I want you to definitely discuss the multiplayer aspect, since neither of you have been able to do that. Let's give that to our listeners. What's the other one you're going to play next week?
Dragon's Crown.
That's the Vita one?
That's the one for the PS3 and Vita, but I'd buy it on PS3 first.
Right.
But
Hey, side note real quick, I know we're on live here, but what are we buying Grand Theft Auto on?
PS3.
PS3.
Okay, we're getting on PS3?
Yeah.
Okay, because I knew we would buy it so we could play multiplayer.
Oh,
Because I got the pre-order thing, so I want to pre-order it on Amazon, so... Because you get stuff.
I pre-ordered it, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll have
Okay,
to check
so
tomorrow.
I will order a PS3 tonight. All right, sorry about that. Sorry, listeners. Just wanted to clarify what we're buying that on. If you want to play with us, maybe we'll do a play with our listeners one night.
could.
Make sure you buy GTA 5 on PS3.
Oh, yes.
All right, Justin, Gone Retro.
Yeah, I bought a Retro Duo a couple weeks back, and I got Battletoads. Battletoads being one of my favorite games. I got Battletoads in Battlemania.
What's the difference between this one and normal Battletoads?
Battletoads was just Battletoads. This one is the Super Nintendo one, which was called Battletoads in Battlemania. The way the game starts is the Toads they go to Tibet into some guys, I can't remember, it's from the first game, but it's the Falcon guy, the professor, and they make a virtual reality world. Basically, it's a giant video game, and what ends up happening is the main villain, which is Dark Queen, she has a villain in the game grab Zit and the princess, basically, and suck them into the game. So you have to play with Pimple and Rash and go get them.
The entire game, right?
The entire game.
Yeah, okay.
So that's why you get the weird levels, because it's a VR game world that you'll go from being in the first level in a lava world inside of a tree. In the third level you're on a chessboard. It's very jumpy, but it's one of my favorite games growing up, so I had to play it.
It's aggravatingly difficult.
Yeah, so how is the difficulty? Is it still there?
Yeah, I've never beat the fourth level, and I cannot get past the fourth level.
Still, to this day?
Still to this day, I cannot get past the fourth level.
Why?
It's a racing, the Shinobi levels, you drive the horse, guys that come at you, dodge them. That's what this is. There's no guys or enemies not till the third or fourth little checkpoint, but it's just dodging stuff. And I can get to where the minions start coming out, but I've died. Like, the game will give you 3 lives and then 3 continues. I know the cheat to get 5 lives and 3 continues. So I do that, and I literally will get a game over. I cannot get past the level.
Yeah, it is a nightmare. We played it the other.
Brad and I both did it, and we
to hell with that light bike level.
You're on those floaty motorcycle things?
Floaty motorcycles, and they're so goddamn hard.
What appeals you to play something that difficult? Just a retro nostalgia feeling?
To finally beat it. I mean, when I played the game, I was...
Oh, so it's the complex of climb that mountain because I can.
Exactly. I want to, I remember going to Toys R Us with my brother and buying the game, coming home and playing it. We always got to the 4th level, and we can never get past it. To this day, I'm 25 years old, cannot get past it. And I will. One day I will. I will beat that game in its entirety. Because Battletoads games were always known for how hard they were. I've never beat the original, how hard that game was. And Brad and I kind of figured it out, too, because they give you 2 modes. Well, they give you 3 modes, technically. You get 1 player, 2 player A, and then 2 player B. The games are always known for when you'd hit, like, if you punch wrong, you'd punch your friend, you'd punch the second player.
Friendly fire still there?
Yep.
Yes.
And that's what A is. If you play on B, then you won't hit each other.
Are you playing on A or B?
We're playing on B.
So
yeah, we were vaginas. We were vaginas about it because we played on A, and I was like, we started and we were hitting each other. I'm like, let's see what B does. And we played back on B, and we walked to hit each other, nothing. So that's we were like, all right, we'll play on B. And literally, we walked, I can't say we walked through the game because it was actually quite aggravating because it literally parts of levels while you're walking. There's really no indicator unless you play the level enough times to know where parts just drop. Like, literally the floor will just drop from under them. So that's aggravating as hell. Once you, like, master, like, the memory of, like, where to walk the whole path, the combat itself isn't that bad. Like, beating up the enemies is not the difficult part. It is the level design.
So it's trial and error type game because it probably only has 5 levels.
Well, I actually looked up, and I think it has 7. There's 7 levels to it. There's... After the motorbike level, there's a snake level where you can't touch the walls or the floor, and you have to walk on snakes around through the whole level.
Ugh, that sounds miserable.
I watched just a playthrough of it, and it looked absolutely awful. Like, the guy knew exactly where to step at any time, so you know he played that level 1,000 times before he did it. Then there's 2 levels. Then the last level, you go through a tower, and you start from the top, drop all the way to the bottom, fight the queen, game's over.
Game Genie eventually?
I don't want to. I feel I could beat it without it. It's just going to take practice. Like, that was the first time I played it, because I played it at work one day. I got to the fourth level. I breezed through the game, actually, because 1 player, it's not so bad, because and that's the thing, too, is, like, if he falls off into the thing, then it stops you, restarts you. If you fall in one of the holes, you'll start right in the edge of the hole. So you walk forward, you fall again, and that just eats your lives right up. That was the hardest part, is if he would die too many times or I would die too many times, we would restart at a certain point, so we'd have to get back through that part, which was a bitch.
I'm going to see you guys are going to be like 80 years old in the hospice on your deathbed, still playing this stupid game. Done.
No, I'll beat it by the end of this year, I promise.
Why play 2-player then, if it's that much more difficult?
Because it was over.
Okay.
I was going to say, what's the point of
just so you
2 people sitting there?
Well, I mean, but we played Dead Space 2 because it did make it, I mean, it seemed harder in some spots, but it was fun playing a 2-player. It did make it, a little bit easier and stuff. Some of these 2-player games, it is beneficial. Army of 2, it sucks playing a 2-player. 1, the AI sucks, and 2, it's just you do so much better with 2 people.
The thing about it is, though, is the game isn't harder. You have the same amount of enemies, so that doesn't change. It's player error. If I was perfect at the game and so was he, the game wouldn't be hard.
Well, no game would be hard.
Well, not necessarily perfect, but once we played the level 3 times, we went through it without dying once. We got to the second level, died a couple times. Once we knew what to do, because all the games, it's a pattern. Once you know the pattern, you're fine.
Well, that's with most games.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Once that bike level is, I knew the patterns before because I played it before he did. But once he got the patterns, we got stuck at the same part. And the cool thing was once he ran out of continues, I played for another 20 minutes, which was really cool. The game was completely over then.
That bike part's a pain in the dick.
It's so hard.
And I think Battletoads has an appeal that newer games like Dead Space and Army of 2 don't have, is that it's just difficult. it's fun still, but it's just more difficult to have more people. Like, I want to be able to beat Super Ghosts and Goblins, because that is a crazy hard game. Just to say I did.
Well, and the cool thing about that is Super Ghosts and Goblins doesn't have a continue system. You can die as much as you want. You can still progress through the game.
Right.
Battletoads, you die 3 times, or you get 3 continues, you restart the game. Like some of those games, you don't have that option. Like,
so a lot of our listeners, they would definitely never want to play this because they might be younger players and they aren't used to that style of game design. They would find it very aggravating and frustrating and would not enjoy or have fun. No. You're playing this mainly for the, I want to say I beat it, and nostalgia factor.
Exactly. And fun fact, going back to what we did, we talked about the level 1-1. I tested a Mario game at work, and I ran through beat 1-1 in less than 20 seconds. Because you just jump third pipe, go through, and I was like, hell yeah! I didn't lose anything either, and I was like, I did it. I was pretty excited about it. It's still hard to me that people can't get past 1-1. 70% of gamers that play can't get past 1-1.
And that's the thing. That's the appeal about old games that people we're never ever gonna have again. Is just the difficulty factor.
It's fun. It's bragging rights. Like, and that's why people play. And that's where I feel it's still there, but it's just not as big. Like people, there's bragging rights. I beat Call of Duty 4 on Veteran. I did that final level on Veteran. You still get that nowadays. Like when people play Gears of War and beat it on the hardest difficulty. There's still a factor to that.
Halo,
I think,
you see it with Dark Souls players and stuff. Like,
That's
I'm
true.
on my 37th playthrough of Dark Souls, and I just rake faces. But I don't. Anybody that's beaten Dark Souls, they deserve to almost be jerked off by Satan themselves.
Yeah, they deserve. Is that the second or first one?
The second one.
Second one.
Demon Souls is the first one.
I played Demon Souls, and it is super difficult like that old Nintendo game, but it still has a few extra hand-holding elements that those old games do not have. It still is not the Ghosts and Goblins. It still is not Battletoads. It still is not, Mario, you run out of lives and you're on 7-4, you go back to 1-1.
Oh, yeah.
You have to start the whole game over, and your 3 hours that you just did is done and over with. Where in Demon Souls and Dark Souls, don't get me wrong, listeners, they are super difficult games, and yes, Brad will give you a little something for your troubles for beating it. Not me, Brad. But there are definitely aspects of the game that you can save. And again, we've talked about before how that is a lovely feature we like having, but Battletoads doesn't have a save feature.
They don't have a code system either. There's no, you can't go, unless you get a Game Genie, obviously, you can't get a code to go start back on level 4. You have to start from 1, get through it, and that's what I did. I got to the point where I could get to level 4 without dying, which is awesome.
I find it very interesting because one of the other games that you say you played is some games have checkpoints built into the game.
Mm-hmm.
On Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, if you get all the way up to Soda Pop, if you lose, you don't have to go all the way back to Glass Joe.
It's the way
you go back to the bout fight.
Well, because I played it, it was last week, I sat and I played from 11 till 3 o'clock. I played all day. I got the ball bull and he fucking kicked my ass till I finally figured out how to beat him. Not figured out, but I could time to punch him in the stomach. But you start off Glass Joe, and you fight three fights. You do your title fight, and then you get a code for those 3 fights. Then you do 4 fights, do the title fight with the 4th fight being Ball Joe. You get your title for that main circuit. You get a code. Then you start off with Piston Honda.
Raging Bull, you mean?
Bald Bull is what his name is.
Bald Bull. Okay.
Bald Bull. And then so it goes 3, 4, so I assume that 5 fights will go, then I'll get another code, so I pass those 5 fights. That's what I just assumed. I'm stuck on Piston Honda 2 right now.
Yeah, Piston Honda 2 is tough. And then there is the code just to go right to Tyson.
Which I refuse to do, because a buddy of mine was like, you'll never beat Tyson, and that's another one. I will beat Mike Tyson's Punch-Out from beginning to end.
If you use the code, he is harder, too.
Really?
If you use the code, he is more difficult. I'm pretty sure. I may be making that up and pulling it out of my ass, but I thought I remember reading that somewhere back in the day, but if you use the code, he is more difficult than just going I beat it a few months ago. I think it was Steven Cisneros was in here, or somebody was in here. Was it Aaron Manja? There was somebody in here, one of the younger kids playing it, and they couldn't get past the second or third guy. I was like, I can sit down and beat this right now. They're like, no way. And I went through and beat it without losing once. Because I had 3 Nintendo games for a while when I was super poor, and I can go through and beat the whole thing without losing once. I'm a master at that game. And the new one is actually really solid for the Wii. It's pretty fun. It's pretty much the exact same thing with updated graphics.
So I never played the one for the Wii. I used to play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on Nintendo like every day. Like I used to get to the when I was like 5-6 years old, I'd get to Mr. Sandman. He was my stopper. I could never beat that guy. And he's the third guy from Tyson. You fight Mr. Sandman, then you fight Super Macho Man, and then you fight Tyson.
Well, then there's just Punch-Out when Mike Tyson got arrested, or the weird rape scandal.
Dream.
Mr. Dream was the final guy.
And it's a white Mike Tyson.
Which is funny.
Yeah. He's basically just a white Mike Tyson.
Well, the thing is, too...
And it's in a super expensive cart.
Yep.
Yeah, because it just says Punch-Out on it, and it has a different character guy on the front or whatever.
Well, the thing that I fought my first 3 fights with not punching in the face. I didn't know you had to hold up to punch in the face.
You were punching the gut.
I was only doing gut punches.
You have to
hold up.
Yeah, you have to hold up. The main thing about the game is you have to learn how to time when they flash to get the stars.
Yep.
And just build those bad boys up. Use your hearts strategically, because sometimes you start off with only 3 hearts. Sometimes you start with 10 hearts.
It depends on the fight, because when you fight Tiger... I don't think his name's actually Tiger. I can't remember his name, but he's the guy with that. He has a jewel on his head, and you have 77 hearts with him. But when you fight Bald Bull, you only have 13 because to do his one-hit knockout, he teleports around. You have to block like 3 teleports,
down,
and then you hit him once and knock him out. But Bald Bull, you only get 3, and I don't think you can block Bald Bull's punches.
Who's your favorite?
Favorite guy that I fought so far? I would have to say Bald Bull, because he was the absolute hardest guy that I fought.
I love Soda Pop.
Soda Pop Polinsky, that's what I'm saying.
Soda Pop is after Piston Honda 2.
Dude.
That's where once I get to Soda Pop, I'm sure he'll be my favorite, but as right now, Bald Bull, because when he beats you, he just flexes, and then it's over. And I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Soda Pop, dude, he's got nasty hooks.
Yeah.
Nasty hooks, dude. They just come in. What the? Yeah, dude. It's awesome. God, that guy used to piss me off so much. When I was a kid, he was the biggest pain in the ass fight I would always have.
Yeah.
If I beat him, then I knew I was going to make it to Mr. Sandman, and then I would get my ass whipped by him every time.
Yeah, that was my thing too. If I could get past Soda Pop, then I could beat the game. That was always kind of my stigma point. The other ones, their patterns were so predictable. And Tyson, I don't know why everybody thought he was so easy. If you learn his moves, you just have to be basically really fast with the pad, and you're fine. I mean, he is so predictable. He's as predictable as Flamingo. He is.
Really?
I feel.
Well, the thing was, the reason why I had such hard time with Bald Bull is he would uppercut sometimes, and I could never get out of the way of it. Like, I would know to
Don't
dodge.
use your hearts to block.
I didn't know you could block it. Well, I didn't. I thought that...
If you have hearts, you can block any hit, except for...
Specials.
There's specials you can't block, and some of them you even can. Like when he goes around and does the warping stuff, you can hit down and block that.
That's the only one that I've actually blocked. But with Bald Bull, he'll do the hooks. He'll roll his fist, punch, or sometimes he'll just drop into a hook, and the hook would get me. He'd hook and then hit me twice. And then
now, if he does the my sprites punch out, because that's that's one of the games I can kind of brag about. If he does a like that, he'll flash. And you don't push up, just do the gut punch, and you'll get a star.
Yeah.
And it'll take a ton of his life too.
Really, I didn't know.
Yeah, and you just bam, hit him right there in the gut. And he'll go.
I know for one of them, like the second the fight starts, punch him in the face twice, you'll get 2 stars. Like the second the fight starts, if you punch him quick twice, you get 2 stars. But I never, and that's the thing, up until I got to Bald Bull, I never got stars. I never got the special uppercut punch. So when your coach is like, he's like, hit him with an uppercut when he's stunned, I'm like, I don't know how to uppercut. I'm just punching in the face. That's all I was doing.
And you know the select trick, right? If you hit select during the menu, like he's going like this, your coach is doing this on your arm, and if your health is really, really bad, you hit select during that.
You have to hold it.
Yeah, and he'll start going really, really fast, and when you come back, your health will go whoop.
Some fights, and then there's a glitch too.
I never knew that.
There's a glitch. If you start Bald Bull and you hit select, and the very first thing, it'll take half your life.
Yeah.
He'll take your life for trying. I guess it's for trying that.
Yeah.
Trying to cheat.
The cheats only work sometimes. Yeah.
Isn't it incredible? It's just a boxing game. No, there's all kinds of shit to it.
Well, I read some stuff on it, and it says certain people, there's weaknesses. If someone throws a right, you hit them with a left, it'll do more damage, and vice versa. The way that they hit you and you hit back, you can actually hurt them more.
I believe it.
I was always a firm believer as a child that you were supposed to hit them in patterns. You weren't supposed to just hit from one side in that game. Like, if you just hit someone, like, with the upper right, like, hitting them with just a right hand, it seemed like it didn't do as much health as if you went right, left, right, left, right, left.
Well, Don Flamingo, you can go infinitely, right. You just go right, left, right, left,
He'll
right,
go-
left, right, left, right, left. You can do it all the way down until he has that, and then you have to, knock him down.
Well, because you'll do it fast. You'll bounce back and forth. He'll go, and then you'll knock him out. And then I can knock everyone out in the first round up till Bald Bull. And I can beat Bald Bull now almost every time because I know his pattern. And then I get stuck on Piston Honda, which I finally learned his pattern. So I'm going to try him again when I get home tonight. Piston Honda's such an asshole. It's so racist, too. He has these really beady eyes, and his eyes will flash really quick.
racist.
And I was like, oh, yeah.
Game is still like so. That game was so stereotypic.
Don Flamenco, or whatever his name is, tells Mario, like, you got really nice hair. And I think he's starting to bald, and I was like, that's just ridiculous.
The game is so amazing. It is one
I'm
of
glad
the
I bought
most
it.
perfect games for the Nintendo,
It's making
definitely.
me really want to play it. I haven't played it in forever.
I think we have it, too.
I bought it.
Oh, we don't have it here anymore?
Well, I think we got 2 more copies, but I know I bought my copy from here.
If you find the other one, man, that one's an expensive cart. Because
Is
they
it?
didn't sell them
How much
yeah.
is it?
I want to say it's like a $50, $70 game, if I remember
I
correctly.
don't know. I would say a minimum of $20. I think I've
Look it
seen
up.
one come in. I would
I
take it.
had-
Well, the normal Punch-Out's 10. I know that it's at least double or triple that.
I had it on the Wii when we traded in our Wii.
No, I'm talking Nintendo cart.
Yeah.
Collectors don't want that crap.
No, I know. But just to play it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just to play it. All right, Jacob. What?
I'm going to move that down to my random game.
Oh, okay.
I should do a weekly Guild Wars segment.
Oh,
No.
Yes.
No. No. I
I
don't
would
care
like
what
to talk
you do.
about the Mesmer class.
Jesus Christ.
Talk
You need to
about
play
the-
more games besides MMOs, because I'm not
Look
playing
who's
one.
talking.
I don't play MMOs anymore.
You used to.
so
So?
tell us your weekly rant of Guild Wars
Really?
2. It's your segment.
Got
You
it.
can do whatever you want. I'll sit
Whatever you
here.
want. Quit being so jaded.
Go.
You guys are so pissy.
I'm not busy. I'm looking up Mike Tyson shit.
He's looking up Mike Tyson shit. He's looking up porn. I don't know. Do your thing, man. I'll ask questions.
Well, I started playing a class, the Mesmer, and it's a really neat class because all the weapon skills are very combat oriented, and all the utility skills are very support heavy. One thing I found out from somebody who's been playing the class is you can actually create a portal. So when we're doing PvP and stuff like that, you can create a portal, run down a valley, create another portal, and pop up behind the people you're fighting. You can do things like I have an AoE that will revive everyone in that field temporarily. If they get a kill, they're permanently revived with full health. You guys really hate Guild Wars that much? Talk it all?
No, I'm looking shit up. I'm listening.
I'm listening. I'm thinking of questions. I'm really just wondering, are you ever going to tell us about the cool stuff we want to hear about? Not
I
just the
have to
normal
get
MMO.
leveled.
Okay, the normal MMO stuff. I want to know about the cool stuff. I want to know about the things
This-
like Brad
the
is like that
classes are-
seems unique. Okay.
The classes are extremely unique. That's why I'm telling you about them.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Like, I have my greatsword. There's a new face.
This is my listening face.
Okay. So, the main thing I use is the
That
greatsword.
looks, I don't know, that's not listing face. That looks like a almost O face or something.
Get wide-eyed for you?
It's your,
No, my O face is...
Why don't you do selfies?
Why would I do selfies?
He does selfies. Don't let him.
I've never done a selfie, as a matter of fact.
I've never done a selfie.
Rebecca's posted your selfies.
Never.
You were with her.
I've never.
I didn't understand what that was at first, and I go, "This is a thing now."
Yep.
We should do that in 30 minutes. Miss
These
Lisa. I'm
selfies
sorry.
of my junk.
Brad's a fucking Facebook whore, by the way. What are you doing today, Brad? Oh, I don't need to fucking know, because you put it on fucking Facebook.
Yeah, that's why I posted something today, didn't I, Justin?
You did.
You did.
I didn't.
I thought you did.
I'm pretty sure he did.
I have you as one of my.
No, the only
things.
thing that you'll see me plastering is like all the cosplay shits. Like, oh,
I see you
that
complain about
Yuna.
that.
Oh my god.
Hey, you put. I want to slap that ass or something.
No, I wanted to eat it.
Yeah, because I have you three as my close friends.
But this
or whatever,
is
so
completely
we
off
show
subject
stuff.
of this man's Guild
Guild
Wars
Wars.
Utah. So
That's okay, your
Go back to
cosplay
it.
stuff.
Thanks,
it is
thanks,
pretty
Brad, for bringing
incredible
us back.
pictures.
Guild Wars 2.
Guild Wars 2, okay. I've been playing the Mesmer, who seems like it is a combat/support class. As in, my greatsword is nothing but AoEs.
What is a mesmer?
A Mesmer is illusions. He's a master of illusions.
So he's an
So-
illusionist.
Pretty much. When I use my greatsword AoE, which I find hysterical, because the sword is as big as you, and you chuck it overhead and it bounces between people. That creates an illusion. I have a utility skill that... Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I have a utility skill that creates 2 more illusions. I can have 3 on the field at any time. And then I have 4 shatters. And I can do an AoE. And each one of the illusions explodes in an AoE. I can make them do damage. I can make them confuse enemies. I can make them daze enemies. And I can make it where the next attack misses. I have a very long-range AoE that makes my greatsword pop out of the ground and hurt everybody. And I can also summon an illusion that just... He's spinning, just flying through everybody. And then I can make him explode. So those are all the combats of the greatsword. I also have I have a sword and pistol equipped, and I can hot swap to it when I'm fighting one person.
So it doesn't matter that you're a mesmer, or only this class can use this weapon? Because if all that stuff's tied to that weapon, why does it matter what class you are?
Every class can use different weapons, but every class has different abilities with that weapon.
Oh, okay.
So with my pistol and my engineer, if I have it offhand, I have a flamethrower and a glue. I can shoot glue on the ground to slow them down. But on my mesmer, I summon an illusion who has 2 pistols and shoots the crap out of them. Or I shoot somebody and it bounces between them, stuns the first one, dazes the second one.
Still all AoE from a distance.
This bounces, yeah, the bullet bounces.
Still not up and dirty, up close and personal.
Actually, no, my sword is.
Another ranged character.
Actually, I'll get back to that in a second. But my sword is. The neat thing about the sword is I'll wait for a boss to obviously go to hit me, and I'll use my second ability, which does a whole bunch of strikes and essentially makes me unhittable. So they'll be hitting me and they'll keep saying, evade, 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 evade. Can't hit me.
Unhittable. I don't think that's a word.
We just made it a word.
Yeah, I just made it a word.
Unhittable?
Look that up.
I'll take it.
I'll Google it.
We
I
make
broke
up
the vending machine, by the way. 75 cents, got 4 bags of chips.
Okay, so
Very nice.
we gotta take a vote. I broke the vending machine, or we make up words. What do you want to name the episode?
I broke the vending machine.
Keep going.
If John W. sees this, he's gonna or
Yeah,
listens
right?
to this, he's gonna be pissed.
Is that too long of a name? I broke the vending machine?
I'll have to tell you, I don't know.
Okay,
I don't think so.
look that up. If not, the backup one is we make up words.
I like we make up
Huddle
words.
House after this.
I got no money.
So yeah,
Free meal, don't you?
Shh, he's trying to talk about Guild Wars 2.
We're talking about Huddle House.
I'm sorry, I'm hungry.
Oh man, today I was at Winn-Dixie, and I'm sorry, lady, if you're listening, but the lady that's at Huddle House, she was in Winn-Dixie and she bought like 500 loaves of bread, and she was really rude to me. And she's usually so nice when we go to Huddle House. The Huddle House in Inverness here, not the
I
one.
never go to that one.
I know.
I used to.
I'm gonna go do today.
I thought it was just a fun little story.
I went to Waffle
The
House
free
and it was
things in my
terrible.
car. I don't have my car.
I hate Waffle House because I love Huddle House now.
Guild Wars 2.
Yeah.
Do they have a Huddle House inside of Guild Wars 2?
We have houses that we huddle in.
There's a lot of we talk. A lot of we talk.
Yeah, who's
Have you
Yes.
hit like in-game content? Here's my
He hasn't.
thought.
He keeps changing class
got-
because he has
no.
ADD.
No, I got my engineer to level 42.
What's your
I-
cap?
60,
80.
80.
I'm trying... The thing is that, like, the classes...
We want end of game
That's
content.
fine. I now have a toolkit with my engineer that turns him into a melee class. That is a lot of fun, because you have chains with most of your basic attacks. Mine are smack, whack, and thwack.
Did you macro them to say that?
No, that's just the first time it hits them, does some damage, smack, and repairs turrets. Second attack,
Smack, whack, smack,
it hits them a little harder,
Sounds like what I do
repairs
at night.
turrets,
Yeah.
and then thwack hits them even harder and repairs turrets. So I'm around my
not
turrets
thwack,
fixing
it's
them.
You have a lot of lonely nights, don't you? Thwacking.
Smacking, whacking, and
Thwacking.
thwacking.
What's wrong with your nose?
Nothing. I got a runny nose.
Any more on Guild Wars 2? Can we put this to bed?
Nope. We're gonna talk about all goddamn day.
All right.
Make it happen. I'll tell you what. You walk me through the beginning of the game to where you're at now.
God, please no.
Wow. Why do you hate on MMO so much?
Because you have not got to anything different than any MMO except for a few little things. It's an MMO.
But
I want to hear about the end of the game content, about the unique things that Brad and I have talked about, found very interesting. That's the stuff I want to hear about that's significantly different than any other
the
MMO.
classes so far are significantly different.
We could talk about Defiance again and how all different the classes were and the uniqueness of the weapons and all that stuff too.
Yeah, but I'm not playing Defiance. I don't think you guys are either.
You don't know what I do.
You just told us what you did.
Yeah.
So that's a lie. But anyway, I want to know about the end of the game stuff, which is very different. And maybe the listeners are excited about hearing about the Guild Wars 2 Mesmer class, but
Maybe.
I'm not. I'm sorry.
I don't care.
It's not what you like, it's the consumer.
I understand. And it's his segment. He can say whatever he
You're
wants.
snakes and sparklers right now.
You are
You're snakes and sparklers.
You're pretty snakes and sparklers too right now, though.
I am being snakes.
Do you know how horrible that's going to sound in the background?
I'm trying to be very quiet as I eat my chips. I'm trying to be very quiet.
You're not. All I hear is that bag. That.
I'm done with this one, so let's go to the next bag.
Don't eat another bag.
Fine.
Would you prefer I talk about wrestling?
Kind of.
Oh, Jesus.
A little bit. A little bit.
What do you want to talk about wrestling?
How it's bullshit that Mark Briscoe isn't the heavyweight champion anymore because he got hurt. I can talk about that.
Let's rewind. What is he in? TNA,
Ring of
WCW? What?
WCW's been gone forever. Ring of Honor.
What's Ring
What
of
the hell's
Honor?
Ring of Honor?
Probably the third biggest promotion. So WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor.
No clicking. No taps.
Ring of Honor. Sorry.
Wow.
So, I played a very mature game. Moving on. We're moving on. Sorry. No wrestling.
Next.
No Guild Wars 2.
Next.
I played... Where's it at?
Lollipop Chainsaw?
I did.
There you go. I'll say it for you.
Thank you. It's $16.99. I think that at that bargain price, if you can find it, for $15, it's worth getting. It's a Suda 51 game, so it's very Japanesey, very over the top.
Is that a word? Japanesey?
Oh yeah, it is.
Is it the people that did that
Killer 7?
Orochi something Samurai Bikini Samurai?
No, it's not the same people that did Onichibara fucking Bikini Squad or whatever the hell it's called.
It's a very extreme, mature game. It is definitely for
Very
mature.
sexual themed.
Very, very. Yeah, I have that. Everything is sexual about the game. I thought it was very entertaining. You play as...
Did you get the one achievement for looking up her skirt?
I have not.
There's an achievement for trying to look up her skirt, and she calls you a pervert and a pig and shit for trying it.
I gotta do that. So the game, you start off, and it's a very generic game with the sexual overtone as its main entrapment, I feel. Yes?
Oh, no, I agree with you. I agree completely on that. But that was the whole pitch of it. Like, believe me, there is no shying away from that game. I bought it when it came out day one. I bought it on launch. And it was completely themed on her having big boobs and a short skirt.
Yeah, and Juliet is a very attractive video game character. Some of the stuff is funny. In the beginning it says, my mom, my sister, and I, we wear our vaginas proudly. I thought that was hilarious. I mean, I read some of the reviews, and they're all bashing this, and even my wife was kind of like, oh my god, she's so annoying, and and I know what they're trying to do with her voice and stuff, but I thought she was just as entertaining as Nick.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like, people that had never saw the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, I felt like it was a game made around that original character, because in that movie, the girl was a blonde airhead who was a cheerleader.
You go, and then I have an interesting
Well, no,
fact.
go ahead. It deviates from what you guys
So,
talked about.
when I was playing it here, Zach was watching me play, and he knew the voice that does Juliet, and she is a big-time anime cartoon voice actress, and she does one of the main voices in the Bronies thing. What is that called? The little horse?
My Little Ponies. She's like one of the main ones. I
Yeah,
know that because the guy I used to work with was gung-ho all about that.
Yeah, he thought it was hilarious, because she does My Little Ponies as one of her main shows, which is a kid's show, but here she's doing this thing where she's very vulgar, and he thought it was pretty funny to hear that My Little Pony voice doing all this vulgarity. So a little thing there. So it is a hack and slash type game. You have a light attack and a heavy attack. The light attack is called the pom-pom attack. The heavy attack, you pull out the chainsaw. My issue with it is it is that where you have to have a pattern. It is very pattern. You go up and you have to do the same thing every time to every zombie, and that's what makes it feel very mediocre.
My gripe with it was that the combat for the game, like, I liked the game, but the combat progressed too slowly. By the time you beat the game and get to the end of it, all the combos that you've unlocked, it makes the combat a lot faster. It's a lot smoother to play. But when you first start playing, it's just like you're like X, 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 Y, 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 X, X, and it's just those same like 4 combos for the whole title.
You felt like Deadpool was slow. Juliet is so
Oh, no, I played it and-
god awful slow.
That's what, actually, I was at his house when I first played it, and I played it at his house, and I was like, it's a good game. The combat, she's just too slow.
The pom-poms are almost too fast, but they do no damage, and the chainsaw's too slow, and it does a ton of damage. And my thing I wrote, why do you have to use the pom-pom attack if all it does is ultimately stun them? You have to use the chainsaw attacks to kill them. I thought it was kind of useless, but when you get into the big groups, you have to use the pom-poms to ultimately get them to do the star stun thing. I don't know, I just felt like it was almost, that gimmick didn't work very well. It makes the game not flow. I don't know. So anyway, yes, it is ridiculous. It's over the top. Every single thing in the game is to accentuate her sexuality. Even when you set the controller down, if you stop, she goes into this like little sexy pose, where she has one leg and she leans on the chainsaw. When you have to cut the locks off of doors, the camera comes up and it's her, and she bends over and it's like that motion, to look up her skirt and stuff. The camera angles always come up from behind, so you get a panty shot. When the bus comes in, are you uncomfortable right now?
No, I feel like you are a little bit.
I feel like he's tugging off under the table.
Oh,
Tugging off.
hands up, hands up,
Hands up,
hand check,
everyone.
hand check. So when she does a backflip, it goes slow-mo and the camera goes right there to her butt, and it's like whoosh, and you see, total shots. I thought it was really funny. Nick is funny. Some of the stuff he said literally makes me laugh out loud.
The boyfriend is hands down the best comical part of that game. Like, everything he says is fucking gold. Like, literal gold. Like, for me, he really saved the game. That and just not even that, is both their interactions. Juliet's interactions with him and like just their conversations, like how they fed off of each other. It was really, really funny while you were playing the game, because he was not happy about being a severed head attached to her fucking hip. Like, he is not happy about this. She's like, well, I saved you. He's like, I'd rather fucking died. Like, he blatantly tells her that. He's like, because the whole game, she's like, you should be happy I saved you. He's like, why didn't you let me die? God, I just want to die. But...
And I thought it was interesting that the way they use him in the game, not only as a comic relief, but he does have the little mini games where you put his head on the headless zombie and you get to control him a little bit, sort of. The weapons with the Nick tickets is unique and stuff. It's kind of like the Deadpool game. There's so much goodness, but the combat in this one I feel really is detrimental to the game.
Kind of like Never Dead. Never Dead, fantastic game, shitty combat.
Yeah, it's so sad that, because that's where they should spend most of their time, and they do all this accessorizing and glorifying all this other stuff, which does make the game. So if they hadn't spent time on that, it would be just another mediocre hack and slash. The music is fantastic. The music is amazing in it. All the soundtracks are great. I mean, there are a lot of teeny bopper stuff, but again, she is a high school teenager. But I thought that the music is great. I mean, it has a lot of actual music songs in it, not video game songs.
Well, that and the first enemy you come across, because the enemies are all based around a band. And the first guy is the singer, and he's actually the lead singer of Mindless Self-Indulgence. He's Jimmy Urine. And so he's actually a real lead singer from a band. Like, he is a legit vocalist. And I love this battle because I just love the fact that when he yells like fuck and all that, like big ass words come across the screen shouting fuck at you. The profanity lover that I am just got all sorts of hyped up over that.
Yeah, it's very
all
vulgar.
the boss battles were really fun too. Like, I loved how all of them were themed. The drummer guy was a really badass battle. I mean, I enjoyed the game. Like, my biggest gripe with it was too short. I beat it so damn fast that I just was sitting there like, damn, I just spent $50 for this?
How long?
I bought it brand new. Have you not beat it?
No.
Oh, you haven't? I beat it, and it probably took me 5 hours.
Oh, wow. I guess
I tromped through it. It's a hack and slash beat 'em up game. I play those games like religious. Like, I play them like, if I start playing, I don't stop until I beat it. Like Bayonetta, I put like 14 hours in, 15 hours in. I'll play Bayonetta 2-3 times.
So I've played it probably 2.5 hours. So I mean, if I go a little bit slower, it takes me 6-7 hours. I'm close to halfway already.
Yeah, you're probably halfway done with it, depending on what boss battle you've done.
Wow. One of the annoying things that I felt took away from the game, because I was thinking of this when you were talking about Monster Hunter and being immersed in the game, that everything is pulled off there, and that's one thing that awesome that Dead Space did, is you don't have all the HUD stuff. And I really feel like Last of Us, no HUD stuff. A lot of that stuff takes away from the essence of the game. And this one with the sparkle hunting thing, where every time you kill 3 zombies, every time you decapitate 3 zombies with a chainsaw, it comes up with a sparkle hunter or hunting or whatever, and it shows you how many coins and stuff you get, which is the currency in the game. And it does it every time. If you get in a big mob and you do a whoosh, do a swipe, sparkle hunter, and then I'd hit Y again, sparkle hunter, every single time. And that screen stays up there for I want a good 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and I just that sucked. That really did suck.
Didn't bother me that bad.
It did me.
I just know that once you beat the game, there's a crap ton of unlockables for a second playthrough for it. So, like, don't get me wrong, when you beat it, it actually does have like sequence to play for the second. Especially if you're a little bit of an anime nerd, because like you can go through and there's costumes from High School of the Dead, which is a really popular anime. You can get Seiko and one of the other chicks. I want to say Rhea or something like that. I don't know, the pink-haired chick. But you can get their 2 costumes in it. There's a whole bunch of costumes in the game, extra weapons, all that craziness.
It seems like there's a lot of replay value. You can go back and do the time stuff or whatever and play against other people's records on the world leaderboards. You can go back through, I know, in like the Game Plus, music to unlock, costumes, concept art. It seems like if you could find, I mean, $50-$60, yeah, maybe you'd be a little bit pissed, but right, if you can find this game for $15 now with the replay value and how funny it is and entertaining and sort of unique, if you can get past the kind of crappy combat, I think it's a buy.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like you said it a while back how short it was, and you're saying that if you're about halfway through, that's probably why it's a shorter game. Quick, done, and then it. For me, like, I don't mind replaying games, but I'm going to be more hesitant if a game's, 10 hours long to replay through the whole thing than a 5-hour game. Oh, I could, breeze through that in a day. You know what I mean?
Great point.
You do that 2 or 3 times.
You also got to take into account that usually when you play a game the first time, you might put 10, 12 hours into it, but it's also because you spend more time searching, looking around.
That's true.
Second playthrough,
6
you
hours.
don't put in nowhere near as much time. You're just like, man, I don't give a shit about none of that stuff. It doesn't matter as much.
Well, it could be an achievement hunting game, too. You beat it one time, 5-6 hours, depending on skill level. Brad plays a lot of hack and slash. You might not. Might be 7 hours for you, but you go back, it's going to take you 5 now. It's going to take you 4, but, you're going to beat it on the hardest difficulty. You're going to beat it, get the achievements. If you're a completionist, you're going to do all this stuff, and you don't have to play 15 hours to get a game 100% done.
I'm an achievement whore. Don't Jones me like that. Don't do that again.
I think you should.
No, I'll never have new games. I'll be like Guild War boy over here. If I do achievement whore hunting again, I'll 1,000 them, and I'll have nothing new to talk about ever.
I don't know. Next Suda51 game, Killer is Dead. I play everything that Suda51 puts out, so I played Lollipop Chainsaw, I played Shadows of the Damned, which was a really fun third-person shooter.
Oh yeah, the weapons in that were ridiculous.
Oh, just the crude-ass humor in that game was amazing.
It was even more crude
like
than this.
Resident Evil 4. Like, it felt like Resident Evil 4 with just really, really crude-ass humor.
What did you say their new one is?
Killer is Dead. You play as this guy, I don't remember his name now for the life of me. But he kills killers. He works for an organization that he goes and kills.
He's Dexter.
Well, he's not really Dexter because he's not a weird homo ginger, but he's like a dude with a biomechanical arm and katanas and whatnot. It looks really good. I really want to buy it. It's just coming out
You ever
in the
watched
worst
Dexter?
one. Yes, I don't like it.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
They did make Killer 7, right?
I don't think they did Killer 7. They could have,
I'll
though.
look it up.
I'm not 100% sure on it.
Maybe
well, no, they might have. I
somebody
just don't
watched
remember.
Well, so here you have it from our games today. So, Monster Hunter, if you got a Wii U, definitely a buy for the amount that you're going to be able to play. Get that one. Guild Wars 2, still highly recommended.
Yep, I'm on Denova's Rest.
If you are a retro player, jump back on your Super Nintendo, beat Battletoads, play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, try to hold up to my reputation of beating it without losing once. And hey, I think Lollipop Chainsaw is worth a buy for $15. I think you can't go wrong.
I'll agree.
Anything else, gents, for Act 1 here?
No?
I know we're a little under an hour, so sorry about that, folks. Maybe we'll have a little more next time. Play something else.
Jacob.
All right, we're going to take a break.
I need to.
And welcome back to Act 2. So we're going to start off with what if question on our 30 minutes of miscellaneous scrap, then move into random games of the week, and whatever else debauchery we can come up with.
Make fun of Guild Wars and wrestling.
No,
guys hate me?
we don't want
We don't hate
Jacob.
you, we hate what you like.
We don't want Jacob to cry. We love you.
You're still gonna watch a wrestling match, Justin.
And I will give you shit the entire time. Are they in spandex?
We definitely do that one live because it'd be funny.
They're not in spandex.
No pants.
Call them bullshit.
This week's what if question, we kind of stole.
I wouldn't say...
But we modified it to make it our own.
Yeah.
So, what if there were 8 video game characters? You have to pick one to protect you, and the other 7 will hunt you.
Kill you is what it is.
To kill you. Hunt and kill you. We also have to put up some parameters on this. Are we on Earth 2013 right now, and these people are coming in? We also have to decide, are all 7 hunting you at the exact same time?
Yes.
Or is it one coming after you after, like one comes after you, if that one is killed, the next one is sent after you like another bounty hunter?
No, the way that when I saw it, because it was on Facebook, when I saw it, it says the other X amount are hunting you. So they would all be hunting you at the exact same time.
See, that's my thing, is I don't like that way, because no matter what one you pick, the 7 others will always beat your protector.
That's not necessarily true.
If all 7 gangbang you,
Well,
yes, you are
that's
done.
the thing, though. It doesn't say they gangbang you. It's not saying all 7 of them attack your protector at once. We can do it as 1v1. Your protector battles each one of them out. I still don't see the reason to do 7. That's a bunch. Like, I don't know.
Well, that's the whole point, is you're having a shit ton at you.
Could it make you through all 7? It's basically like a stamina, thing. It's 1v1. Boom, he makes it through the first one. Makes it through the second one. Makes it through the third one. Could he make it through all these different skill sets of other hunters?
We can also have it be 1v1, but say combine Kratos and Mario, how they would work as a team to fight your guy.
Yeah, okay, so we'll kind of discuss that as we go through.
That's kind of the hard part, though. That becomes like a death battle type thing. If you do 1v1s, like I said, my understanding of it is they would all be hunting you. They're not teaming up against you. They're just coming at you at the same time. Not like a predator is going to go, work with RoboCop to take you down. They're going to come at you at the same time, per se, but they're not working together. They're not helping one another.
But if 2 or 3 of them came in at the same time, it'd be very unlikely that your protector.
That's why you got to pick a badass protector.
So we kind of broke it into we did 8 video game characters, and we did what we called 4 protector types and 4 hunter types. So this is what we came up with so far. For our protectors, Solid Snake, Big Daddy, Engineer from Guild Wars 2, Joel from Last of Us. Do we like those ones?
Yes and no, and I'm not saying anything towards your Guild Wars character, because
I'll explain.
That's the hard one too. That one's gonna be a little bit hard, and I feel some of them are gonna be hard to combat. Like Kratos against just plain humans, that's gonna be like a no-brainer. But I mean, it's really the skills. It's hard, but to say a Big Daddy could possibly, because Big Daddies had powers in 2, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. So let's finish our list real quick. So those are what we deemed protectors. Now, obviously, you could pick them as your hunter if you wanted to, but we felt like their skill sets were better for protecting individuals. The hunters, the 4 hunters that we thought would be really good at hunting people, would be Kratos, Samus, Mario, and Nemesis.
Yeah.
I thought those were really good 4 solid hunters. Those are pretty 4 badass characters.
Yeah, I like it. I like Nemesis too. Nemesis is a good one.
Yeah. So, Brad, you want to start? Who would you pick to protect you? And why?
I'd probably pick Joel. Why? Because I think he's hands down, he's the most diesel, on top of the fact, in essence, in every game that we've got all the characters pulled from, he's the only one who truly protects the person from start to finish in his game. And not only that, he does it so much to the point of that he goes to whatever means to protect that person. Even when that person disappears, he goes to whatever fucking means it is and finds them. In some of the most brutal ways imaginable as well. I mean, hands down, I think Joel is the best for protection in the sense of he's going to go to whatever lengths he sees fit to make sure that make sure I don't die.
Okay, so that's a good argument. So let's go. Hold on. So keep this organized format. Justin is going to give his, then let's give him a to rebuttal. Then Jacob will go, get a chance to rebuttal, and then I will go, and you can have a rebuttal. Got to keep them short, though, like 30 seconds, because this is going to take a while. So, go.
Nothing against Joel, personally, but the thing that he is the only one of the list that is besides the Big Daddy, is a true protector. Snake doesn't protect anyone. I agree and disagree when you say he does, yes, he does, but when it comes batting to like, he wouldn't protect you from Kratos. I don't think at all. Kratos kills gods.
Well, but the thing is that's the thing, is you're putting things in the wrong ballpark. We're looking at them as Kratos is coming at him like a dude with 2 fucking knives in his hand. Not a dude who's juiced up on super god powers.
No.
Well, no, because that's the thing. We didn't set these parameters beforehand, and that's what I'm saying, is you can't put someone who's like Kratos, who kills gods. In the end, Kratos wins. I pick Kratos because he killed
God mode.
He's Zeus. He killed Zeus.
No, let me.
And that's my thing, is it's not a fair thing. That's why, don't get me wrong, I like this what if thing, but this one I think was not. We just didn't put much into this one, guys.
I get it that the parameters.
Because I'm looking at it as everyone's coming at. Because if you're talking Snake and all them, we're talking people who are real people. Like Snake doesn't have superpowers. He's going to come at my guy, or just like anybody else, even if he's protecting on his end. Same with Solid as Snake. Even Mario, the only way Mario's going to have power is if he eats a flower or a mushroom.
Go ahead, Jacob.
I mean...
Jacob, go.
What, against Joel?
Yeah.
Well, so we're Samus.
I have a rebuttal to his rebuttal.
No, you're done for now.
See, I think Samus could take him down easily because it's all energy weapons. What does he has to protect against that?
Don't get me wrong, evasion and stealth, and that's where I put it with Joel. Stealth.
Okay, shoot a rocket in the air and it homes down to him.
I'm just saying, he's stealthy. You doubt his smoke bombs. That's all I'm saying, is you doubt my man's smoke bombs.
I think that I would pick Nemesis to go against Joel, because Nemesis at one time was a human, so this is very realistic in our realm that you're setting up for yourself, and that's fine. And that's kind of the thing of this argument is he's setting it up the way he wants to, and that's fine. I think that you would have a hard time protecting against some of these others. They made good points. Obviously Kratos is a little bit unrealistic. I think Nemesis would be very, very difficult. One last rebuttal, Justin, and then he can make his final arguments, and we move on.
Okay, here's my thing, too. Is let's say, if the parameters is Kratos is a, he was just a Spartan, like he was before he took the powers from Ares. He killed armies by himself.
I don't care. Don't care. Joel will fuck his day up.
Why?
Joel, and mind you, you beat the game, so you know what happens at the end. He wipes out the entire Firefly encampment, and that's all I'm saying. That's it. I leave it at that.
I'm gonna...
Spoilers!
I don't care. I don't even care.
All right, done.
No, bullshit. They're still...
And
they're still
the argument
robots.
to your nemesis is the fact that he was taken out by Leon and Jill and Claire and everybody else in Resident Evil. So if they did it, Joel could easily whip that ass.
Jill is the only person that fought the Nemesis in 3.
Not in 3. When you play 3...
You play...
yeah, that's right. You
Joel
only play Jill.
No, Jill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, Jill.
I mean, I said Joel.
Well, no. It's Tyrant in 2.
Tyrant's 2.
All right, so who's your protector, Justin?
I'm saying Snake. And if we're setting parameters first and foremost, Snake obviously being the head of an elite, special forces unit. If he was assigned to protect me, he's gonna have shit tons of things at his disposal. As Brad said with Joel, stealth. Snake is like the king of stealth. You can use stealth camouflage. You can use any of those things to combat pretty much anyone there. There you go.
Kill him.
Kill me.
Snake, I'm gonna have to go with my engineer. I'm gonna use my quickness potion and get up real close to him, shoot his other eye out, pull out my wrench and smack, whack, and thwack him to death.
Rebuttal?
He has 2 eyes, for one. Big Boss has 1 eye.
Oh, okay.
He wears an eye patch that gives him pretty much the ability to see at far distances, and he single-handedly has fought Metal Gears and destroyed them. Your engineer's not going to be the Snake that by himself killed a 3-story tall robot.
I'll turn into a 3-story tall tornado and shoot lightning.
That shoots lightning.
Yeah.
He wears a rubber suit.
I'm just shoot lightning at my ass. All I think is Samuel L. Jackson. Sorry.
But see, and this...
Who are you going to kill?
This is my rebuttal to his, because you said I get a rebuttal to his still.
Okay.
The things he's saying, I can't be well, you can't do that. I don't know his engineer. That's why I'm saying this is kind of bullshit.
He's an engineer who has 2 pistols, he has turrets, and he has potions that do different things. I can become quicker, I can make myself more...
So I'll hide in a cardboard box where you can't see Snake, and you'll never know I'm there, because in Snake's world, if a cardboard box is laying there, you don't know he's there.
I'll pull out my flamethrower and just set all the boxes on fire.
Not entirely true, though. Guards. Whoop! Kick the box over.
if he moves. The engineer's bullshit. I don't... You could say anything. I choose a Death Knight. I can summon the dead. Armies of the dead. You could just say whatever. I don't believe you.
So Mario.
I don't really care if you believe me.
Mario probably.
I'm going Mario on Snake. Why? Because he's just going to jump on your head. He's going to be very simple about it. He's not going to approach you from crazy angles.
Dead.
He's going to be forward, 2D side-scrolling style.
And if he needs to, he'll just get a super mushroom and grow to 3 stories tall.
Well, not even that. No, if we're doing it based on a realistic plane,
We're doing
the reason I said
realistic.
Mario. Because I agree. I think Mario would take Snake just because of his movie. It bombed so heavily that he would stink you out. He would just stink you out, dude.
No way.
Stink you out.
And here's my thing: if it's Mario's a human, Snake's a human. Snake has optic camouflage, which makes him invisible. He will walk up and break his neck.
You're not hunting. You're protecting.
He's protecting me, yeah. So I could be the patsy that Mario's trying to kill me. He'd sneak up behind him and break his neck. Human to human. You guys said I set the parameters. It is human to human.
What's his name? Bob.
Bob
Isn't that his name that played Mario?
Hopkins.
Yeah.
Say he was the guy who threw for him
And
as a rabbit.
who's Snake? Who's Snake?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
No, he's not.
That's the rumor they hadn't given.
Well, no, personal belief.
It's the
Kurt
24
Russell.
guy.
Kurt Russell. Fuck it, if it's Kurt Russell, oh god. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, yeah.
But that's because I love Escape from LA.
All right, so Jacob, who's protecting you?
The engineer.
And tell us why.
Because he has lots of turrets, I can drop on your head, I can turn into a tornado, I have massive AoEs to blind everyone, and I can use my rifle to keep away from
This
you.
is horse shit.
Simmer down,
not.
Chainsaw. Gosh,
I
dang.
don't really know much about Snake, so you're bullshit.
He's a normal
Same
guy.
thing.
He's a normal guy with awesome technology.
So is my
So you're
Rocket
using
launcher.
so your engineer uses magic to just randomly spawn turrets.
No, he has them.
So he can build a turret in 0.5 seconds to drop a turret.
He has a turret that he drops out of his backpack.
How many? How
I have a rifle
is this
turret, a
is this a
rocket
magic
turret.
backpack that has just endless amounts of slots?
Sure.
Bullshit out of the
I
parameters.
have...
So I'm taking Joel on this one because he sneaks around a lot of turrets and things, and he could just go all around that stuff, and I think Joel could get you.
Smoke bombs, baby. Smoke bombs.
I'd say Big Daddy. You're not going to just shoot him with shit.
I got mines and grenades and bombs.
See, I'm gonna have to go with Joel because I think in the end.
So
Joel's
I'll go
just
kind of last
nasty.
here. Justin kind of changed the parameters here that the Protector could go out and hunt and use me as a decoy. I would go with Kratos then. The best defense is a good offense.
Makes sense.
I go with the Spartan warrior there, and
I just feel like we should do the same thing again, but it needs to be much more cleaned up. Like
Yeah.
we need to pick in parameters of like nothing against your engineer thing, but hey, none of us play fucking Guild Wars. We don't know what the hell it is.
I barely played Metal Gear
So,
Solid.
well, then you need to play some console games to get in on this. But
Well, see, that's
we
the
need
thing.
real video game characters, and on top of that, we need to make sure they all fit in the same parameter. Because like putting Kratos in the same ballpark with Snake and or Joel, like Snake and Joel, good combo right there. That's a good lineup. Either of them against Kratos is very one-sided. Because like you said earlier, I mean, Kratos kills he kills Zeus.
gods.
He is taken apart all sorts of everything mythological.
It's a good argument, though, and it's kind of fun to explore. What if these characters were able to interact, and on what plane would they? What would be the parameters of that world?
Well,
that
think
they're
about
in?
it. Think about it in like a Super Smash Brothers or in like PlayStation All Stars universe. Like Parappa the Rapper can whoop Kratos' ass. Like they're it's balanced, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, but they
it
had to go
works.
so far out of the box to make that even plausible. Because
But
in
that's
all
the same
honesty,
thing,
Parappa
and-
the Rapper's a rapper. He doesn't fight. Kratos would just come up and like spit on him because he's a paper cutout and he would just fall apart.
And that's the thing that I thought was ridiculous when we were listening to all those announcements on E3, and they added in Wii Girl into the Brawl or whatever, the new Smash Brothers, and it's like how are you going to do that? And that's the thing. Like
She does yoga poses for attacks.
We saw a preview for the new Heroes of S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever for ABC show, and it's like, how would humans be in a world with superheroes and gods? I mean, that's what it would come down to. How would we combat with Superman? How would we combat
We couldn't.
with Thor or Hulk? I mean,
Kryptonite.
we are ants. We're nothing compared to them. So it's a good argument, and I think if we clean it up, maybe if we put too many rules and parameters, it really wouldn't be that fun to argue, though.
See, I don't know, because the original thing that we saw it off of was based around movie characters, in which
Yeah.
the movie character lineup is a little bit more plausible, because they're all fucking out there. Like, they're all like, woo! None of them were kind of anyone based in, like, a physical plane. Like, you had Terminator, you had Alien, you had RoboCop, which RoboCop I think was the shittiest guy on the whole list.
But think about it this way, is like, you have to set some type of fantasy parameters, because think about it, because Wolverine was one of them. Wolverine against a Terminator, like, that's hands down, that's going to be Wolverine.
You say that, but then again, Terminator could rip his fucking head off.
He couldn't. Adamantium is the strongest metal. Like, he couldn't physically do it. You couldn't blow his face off, he couldn't do any of that
The
stuff.
Terminator's made out of vibranium.
Vibranium?
This is stuff Captain America's shield's made out of.
Oh, really?
So I'm going to go with
strong.
I'm going to go with he could rip his head off.
Black Panther's dagger, claws and stuff are made out of vibranium.
But vibranium
it's
is...
what's harvested there with the Black Panther.
The flip side, though, I will say, well, the only reason the Incredible Hulk can break it's because of his it's because he has he can create sonic waves or whatever in his attacks. It's the reason he damages that stuff.
But adamantium's stronger than that. It's the strongest metal. Vibranium would be kind of at this. Well, I think it's equal.
I think they're equal because it's more of a. What is it? It's a meteorite or whatever that landed and they harvest it. So
I don't know. I mean, I guess we'd have to look up more into that.
Wolverine was fun.
But think about it this way, because in Terminator 1, the Terminator gets crushed by a machine, a press literally crushes him. So it couldn't be that strong.
But he survived, sort of. Pieces of him survived. That's how they had two.
The chip, the
chip.
chip in the arm.
Basically, if you take the head off of the Terminator, I mean, the head is the most crucial part of the Terminator because the CPU is in there.
Yep.
Which I don't know why they would put it in the head. Put it someplace you wouldn't expect.
In the toe?
Yeah.
In the toe?
Well, like in Defiance, they put the off button in the ass.
Huh?
Smart. The big, the biomen.
Yeah.
They punches him in the ass to turn him off. It's funny. All right, so give us your list. Go to our website on Facebook and give us your list of what you think. There were a few other characters that we kind of throw around that we didn't actually put on our list. The Crackdown guy, all powered up, would be awesome. Mega Man, Alex Mercer.
Corvo Ortano, the guy from Dishonored.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even think about it till just
He'd be
now. He'd be a bad hunter. Like I would want that dude chasing me down.
So, I mean, there's some other characters in there that you guys might come up with. Post them up there. What would your list be? Put a little post. Make an argument of why you would want your protector and how they would defend off some of the cool hunters. Anything else? All right.
We can combat more about it.
Yeah, we could, but let's move on from it because I think, as Brad said, there were a really good parameter set for this one. Let's move on to random games of the week. Tell us about your games.
I gotta pee.
I've been playing Final Fantasy VIII. Why?
What is that game?
I gotta pee.
Fill the cup is what it's called.
Fill the cup.
I think there is a game called Fill the Cup.
Two
You played
cups?
after a game of
what?
beer pong.
One girl? What?
Ew.
All right, so Final
I've
Fantasy
been playing
VIII.
Final Fantasy VIII. It was one of my throwback games I jumped back on this week just because I never actually beat it back in the day, so I've been having some fun with it.
On the Vita?
Yes, God, yes. I love my Vita for that. It's just a portable handheld game of old glory. But really fun. I mean, I forgot how awesome 8 was. I forgot how weird they had done the magic system in the game, though, where you had to draw everything from them, which kind of threw me off again when I started playing it, which I'm pretty sure is one of the reasons I didn't probably play it when I was younger, because I didn't like that.
It's slow.
Well, the beginning's slow, but the card game, man, curse that card game. I played it for 5.5 hours the other night. Like, I was like, I'm just going to sit here and play Tetra Master for the next 5.5 hours.
I play the card game in Fallout all the time. I love playing
it, man.
Yeah.
Side games, I love them.
I love the side games.
I guess I probably should say my my random game of the week was Tetra Master more than Final Fantasy VIII.
I don't know where Tetra Master came with Final Fantasy 11, but I never knew what it was.
Well, it originally came from Final Fantasy VIII. It was one of like the biggest fan love things ever. I think they carried it over into 9 as well. I just don't think the card game got as much of a reception in 9 as it did in 8. Because in 8, it was all based around your characters. Like, I remember... it was funny because I remember from my first playthrough as a kid, after you do your first mission, you have to go and play against Zell's mom. And if you play against Zell's mom, you play her enough times, eventually she has his card. And his card's, super good. And if you beat her, you can get his card. And there's a couple other people that I remember that had, the Wedge and Biggs card, and they had the Squall card. So I've already gotten a lot of the rare cards that you can get at the beginning of the game.
How are the graphics on this? Because I know that I remember when playing, and I haven't played it since back in the day, it was weird that when you were walking around the overworld, you were 9 feet tall, and you'd walk into the bubble cities and stuff, and I just remember I really hated that. It just didn't feel good.
I will agree with you that your character model looks way too big on the open world, but I will say, though, that the game on the Vita screen looks much better than it does on the PS, on my big TV, on my 40-inch TV, on my PS3, it's too expanded.
Really?
Yeah, I prefer it on the Vita screen for sure.
It looks okay?
Oh yeah, it actually looks really good. I prefer to play all the old school stuff on the Vita.
What did you pay for this? Free?
No, I paid $5.99 for it.
That's cool. You can play it on the PS3 though.
Yeah, you can play it on the PS3. I'll probably end up buying Front Mission because I just love PS1 games so much.
No, it's great, man. I mean, I liked 8. It's a solid game. Obviously, you know, I know I'm one of the fanboys and it's stupid. I love 7. You know, 2's my favorite. Obviously, we've already discussed that, you know, and hashed it out so much. I do love 7. I thought 8 was a solid installment. I love 9. I like the campy, stupid cartoon. I know, but I thought it was great. And of course, you know, 10's solid. Everybody loves 10.
I love 10. I can't wait for the remake.
I can't wait
It needs to come out already.
What?
Final Fantasy High Def
October?
Remake International Edition. I don't know for sure if that's a date. They haven't told, I think, confirmed it yet. I just know it's the International Edition, so we're getting extra content that we didn't get stateside. On top of the fact, I heard supposedly through internet rumor mill that they are doing 30 minutes of extra or new content for the game. Actually,
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that
original
once
voice
before.
actors. And
How
all
much is that
so
going to be?
$39.99.
It's a budget title, sort
And
of.
it's
remake.
10 and 10.2, so you get both of them in high def. Which I know you guys 10.2, but I'm like I said, I'm a sucker for class changing systems. I don't give a damn if it is extremely female themed. I just I'll
10-2
play
is
it.
horrible.
I liked Pain. She reminded me of a dyke Lulu, and I love Lulu. She was my favorite female character ever, next to Terra.
I always, you know, sit on the computer and play games because if we're watching a show or something, my ADD is I like to multitask, so I'll be on the computer and I'm playing the Marvel game still. And they released the Season 2 finally, and what it is that Season 1 was 10 chapters, 6 little missions per chapter, and they announced that they were going to release it in July, and they messed up on that or whatever, and they didn't release it, and people were super pissed. But they finally released Season 2, and they redid the system of how you do it. Before, you get a battle, you get points, and you cumulatively add up those points to get 5 stars. Once you get 5 stars, you get command points. That's one of the main currencies to buy new heroes. You do that for all of them, you get a golden weapon, which is really awesome, and that's called Chapter Mastery. And there was 12 for Season 1. Then Season 2, they changed it, and it's all task-based stuff where you do these little mini-quest task things, and they added in heroic battles where you can only use one specific hero. So you'll have to do the Sabretooth versus Wolverine, and you can only have your Wolverine. If you don't have him, you can't do that battle. If you can't do that battle, you can't master the whole chapter. You don't get the reward at the end. And this time it's not golden weapons, you get free suits for the heroes. And so the very first chapter, you get the Scrapper suit and the Bruiser suit for Iron Fist if you do all the quests and everything, which is kind of neat. So they added that in, you know, and they've changed up the game a little bit. They keep the game fresh. I don't know if I'm kind of addicted to it like you were with WoW. I don't know how many years I will play this game, but I have a lot of time and money invested into it, and
I got like 6 years invested into a Facebook game called King of Kung Fu.
yeah.
I love it.
You
It's
still
like
play that, don't you?
I haven't played it in like 6 to 8 months. The reason I don't is because I'll go back on there and I'll have so much money for my character just stomping people's faces in on its own.
You mentioned that game the very first episode you were on.
Yeah, it's probably the most addicting Facebook game I've ever played. It's very random numbers generated, so it's out of your control other than when you do your dailies, you pick the people you want to fight, you sign up for tournaments and all that stuff. Yeah,
And this game, they added into, and they have a PvP where it's PvP-esque. You don't really play other players, but you play other players' teams.
Yeah.
And they added that inside of the story mode now, where you do these things called incursions, and it's following the comic book storyline where the realities merge. You know, I don't remember reading those comic book lines where, no, you're looking at me with blank stares.
Yeah.
Where they had the multiple universes merging together, and there was like Captain America fighting Captain America. They've included that in the game now, and they're trying to include a lot of the stuff that's going on. Coulson's in it now. They added his character in. Professor X is finally in it now. They've added his character in, so that's kind of cool. I don't know. They keep the game fresh.
Yeah, Brad, have you played this? The Marvel?
No, I haven't played it.
As much
I
as you
keep seeing
like-
him post stuff about it. I was like,
Yeah.
I try not to because I know people hate that.
well, I
much
see
as-
the share stuff,
As
so
much
it's
as
whatever.
you like Final Fantasy, I think he'd really like it.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have the exploration. It's basically an RPG without the having to run around.
Yeah.
You know, you have all the customization stuff without that. And I don't want to get too much bogged down in it because I don't want to bore the listeners because we've talked about Marvel a lot. Justin, you going to go back and play WoW?
I actually had a friend of mine. She sent me a Scroll of Resurrection, which is a free 7 days to play again. My account actually wasn't ready for it. I was going to start playing it again. My computer actually won't run it now, so I'd have to use my wife's laptop, and I'm just kind of like,
Now, you were saying that you could play WoW free up to level 60 vanilla.
I heard
That's
from a
what
couple people.
he heard.
That WoW was playing for free. I heard this through a friend of mine because someone that me and Justin know is playing the game, I guess, right now on a free account because it's free to up till 60, but it is vanilla WoW. It's the basic game.
How is WoW still thriving? I played WoW, and I really liked it. It's a great game. But how is it still thriving with all of these MMOs out there? Torchlight, and Guild Wars, and Rift, and Defiance, and, all of these. There's so many games to play, MMOs, and not to mention all the other games to play. How does it still pull 8 million people?
Because 8 million people started there. That's the thing, is everyone that I know that plays MMOs, my buddy Jeremy, really, really avid MMO player, loves Star Wars, he played every MMO. He always goes back to WoW. Because why? WoW is polished. We've talked about this a dozen times. WoW is the end-all be-all of MMOs because it was one of the first, and everything about it.
The first to almost get it perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's a perfect MMO. People that bitch MMO that this doesn't do this doesn't. WoW does it. WoW fix the problems. Any problems that they have or have had, they've patched.
What is the viability of the other games? How many players does Star Wars or Guild Wars 2 have to maintain to be able to maintain the profit margins and keep the servers going if WoW is always the drawback? I mean, I know when new content comes up, WoW always bumps up to 10 or 12 million and maybe drops back down to 5 or 6 million consistently paying, and maybe 2 or 3 million consistently playing, because a lot of people have it getting charged but don't actually play. They get stuck in that because they forget to cancel their account.
The thing with Star Wars is it's dead, but there's so many people that want to spend $200 on this stupid cartel market to sell for in-game money that's how they're able to keep Star Wars afloat. There are still, I shouldn't say it's dead, but it's definitely dead compared to WoW. And I've played, Final Fantasy 11 was my first MMO, and I played the DC universe. I played Guild Wars 2, the Old Republic. I've dabbled in other MMOs, and it seems like every freaking MMO I play, it's, let's do this raid, but then let's jump on WoW. Every one of them, all of them people still play WoW, or they're going to finish Guild Wars and go back to WoW.
So what is it you're going to start playing an MMO here shortly. What is, how does that survive against these juggernauts?
Well, it's not even that. Well, let me get to the first part that I got is that I started on Final Fantasy 11. That was the first MMO I ever played. So when I first played WoW, I felt like it was a very dumbed down version of an MMO.
So did I.
Like, hey, we're going to give you everything you need. Don't get me wrong. I do like it because that was my big gripe about Final Fantasy to an extent, was that if you didn't pay attention to the beginning of that game and figure out how to craft shit, you were literally fucked. Figuring that game out on your own was a motherfucker. Whereas WoW was much more like, hey, I'm gonna show you how you got to do this. And the further you got, the better or more you needed to pay attention. But I've always been a much firmer belief on Final Fantasy. I mean, the other reason the other companies don't stay around or stay pay subscription is because they're not backed by Blizzard pays, they are the financial backer for World of Warcraft.
They own Activision, or Activision owns them?
Activision, I think, owns them. But even before that, Blizzard pays for their servers. They don't have financial backers. There's not stock members sitting in the background going, we want our money, give us our money.
Well, that's why they could wait 10 years to bring out Diablo 3.
Well,
they bring out when they want.
Exactly. They back their own product, whereas companies the companies that do Guild Wars, and they did Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Tryon, they're really big.
They're not beholden to anybody.
Exactly.
Well,
the reason they go microtransaction is to make their money back faster.
The Old Republic is backed by EA.
Yeah, but it's still, the reason they went microtransactions is because the original the company that made the game couldn't support it.
Yeah, and EA does love microtransactions.
Oh yeah, it's a great way to make a crap ton of money.
I remember reading somewhere that most MMOs only need 250,000 paid subscriptions a month to be viable.
It would make sense.
$15 a person?
I mean, Final Fantasy XI was one of the first, and it's still, with WoW, the longest running paid subscription game. There are people that still pay $13 a month to play Final Fantasy XI.
EverQuest is the longest.
Well, EverQuest
2.
Yeah. Well, the ones that I played that I still know that you have to pay for, because as far as I know, you can play EverQuest for free.
Yeah.
Which
2?
As far as I know, you can play all that stuff for free.
Okay, I thought
in that regard,
I thought it was still $15 a month.
No, as far as I know, there's a light or free version of it. But I know Final Fantasy XI and WoW are still the top running two for. You want to play this? You're going to give us money first, and then you can play
Yeah.
our game.
I just find it amazing. I mean, there are so many thousands, millions of games maybe to play. I don't know if we're in the millions yet, but I mean, you can play the retro and still play Mike Tyson and have fun, or you can jump off and play the Marvel Facebook game, or you can jump on your phone and play a little game there, or you can jump on, you can play Xeonia, or you can jump on and play Guild Wars 2. There is such a variety of games to play. It's amazing that any of these games have enough people to survive for multiplayer. Like when I went on the other week and tried to play a multiplayer with a dead game, nobody's on there. I mean, Transformers was awesome. The multiplayer was so fun in that. And if you try to jump on right now, I guarantee there might be a handful of people, and if they are, they're going to own your ass because they're going to be masters at it because it's the only game that they play.
I tried a couple weeks ago. You can't. I sat for about 10 minutes looking for multiplayer matching Transformers. Nothing.
That's how Spec Ops: The Line was with a friend of ours. He's like, let's play Spec Ops: The Line. We played it. We played with 4 dudes that were all like level 200 and something. They had mastered the whole fucking game. And he's like, well, this game's not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad when you play against people that are on the same level as you, but these guys who literally jerked off every day to this game.
I understand Brad's opinion of the game. My only retort to that is, like, I played it because I bought the game too. A buddy of ours was like, hey, play this. It was only $20 and I got it.
Spec Ops: The Line we're talking about.
Spec Ops, yeah. And when I was playing it, it played just, it flowed server-wise. Like, we were constantly getting games. We didn't get stuck. And I think you got a bad experience with,
This
high-level
happened
guys.
3 days in a row. 3 days in a row, we played these same fucking dudes every day.
What time
Like, I
of
looked
day?
at Logan and was like, why in the fuck are we playing these guys still? Like, that's why I got rid of that game. Because I was like, I don't want to play this shit against the same 3 dudes over and over.
Was it like 3 in the morning though?
No, it was like random time at like 7 to 10 at night.
And that
times you would
might
think
just
most people are on playing video games.
Yeah.
just a weird time because, like, so when Logan and I were playing with Adam, another friend of ours, and we played for about 3 weeks, and I never had that problem. Then a week later, you got it. It may have just died. You may have just had a weird spell. I mean, and
Something may have come out.
Though that these games, they push the multiplayer so much, and then they die, or they never are even born in some regards. I mean, honestly, I don't know if Star Wars was. I mean, it was big for a little while there. Maybe had a few million, which is still pretty impressive in that regards. But some of these, like Defiance.
Defiance is still, as far as I know, kicking strong.
Yeah. My only gripe with that game was that they take too long to update stuff, and then when they update it, it just seems like they overdo the update.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it was.
that's what happened to Old Republic.
Yeah.
We would have to wait 3 months to get any kind of update.
And see, I think that's one of the reasons why WoW is so efficient, because you're getting a new update month and a half, and it's substantial shit.
Well, that comes back to the financial backers. That's because WoW makes them. I mean, if you calculate that out, that they have, even if they have 2 million people paying every month $15, that's $30 million that they're making every month.
Mm-hmm.
Just if they get 2 million paid subscriptions, and it's a lot more than that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
$30 million.
Well,
That's nearly $400 million a year.
Well, that's the thing too. Is when they take an update or they take an expansion, that expansion lasts for 2 years. The reason why is you'll get 3 months. You'll get a patch that adds all this new shit to that expansion. Another 3 months go by, you get another big patch and another big patch that'll sustain it for another year and a half. You'll get your final patch about a year and a half into it. People do all the in-game content. Wait for that next expansion, because every 2 years a new expansion comes out.
And that's the thing I don't get about Guild Wars, and Guild Wars 1 is still going. Guild Wars 2 is, a great game. It has a little microtransaction marketplace, but I don't understand how you buy the game once and that's how they pay their bills over at ArenaNet.
Well, and that's why you don't get the enrichment, new content. You don't get the updates.
Every 2 weeks.
I don't know.
Every 2 weeks you get a patch.
But I mean, when you're making nearly $500 million a year, you can pay a plethora of people to sit around and program this stuff, make it perfect, get it out, fix it when it's broken again, and make it perfect, because you got to keep those 2, 3, 4, 5 million people happy, because they're pulling in serious cash. And they did it right from the beginning. It's just sad that everybody tries to emulate them, but it's never going to work. Only Blizzard will beat WoW. They'll be the WoW killer will come from Blizzard. It has to.
I don't know. That or they'll tank their next MMO horribly.
That is a big possibility.
Because I'm not going to lie, they've built a lot of steam up on themselves, and if they do a Diablo 3 and shit the bed again, yeah.
So real quick here, so in just a couple seconds, I know maybe you got to go or something. I read a thing that on pricing, because it is a very big concern of mine. The store's very big concern about peripherals, games, and stuff for the new systems, and I guess they're all going to be significally.
What, Imz, is it distracting?
Yeah.
Show my nipple. Show my nipple.
Keep talking, dude. Don't worry.
No. Brad is getting a little naked, and making you
Grab
uncomfortable.
some 3 penis wine.
Where's your hand? Where's your other hand?
What's your hand doing?
The pricing of the controllers, the headsets and stuff, they said it's going to be roughly $10 more for all of that stuff.
It's, well, everything I've seen for pre-order wise, $59.99 for a PS4 controller, same price as what a PS3 controller is, $59.99. I can't imagine it because they're really not using any new technology. We're still using like I think even Xbox is going to Bluetooth syncing stuff, to where when it goes to that, I mean,
because you can get PS3 controllers for $50 though. You can get brand new ones for $52. So if it's going to $59.99, that is an increase.
That's what we sell them for.
But that's
every
what
day.
You have them you got them marked up 400%.
That's what I've sold them for the last 4 years.
Well,
I've
for
always
Walmart,
sold
for Kmart, a new controller is $60.
Yeah, it's $60 unless they're on sale, in which they usually knock $10 off, and they do them for $49.99.
Are you sure that these ones aren't going to be $69?
Well, the PS4
$59.
does have the touchscreen on it, doesn't it?
It has the share pad. It's not a touchscreen, or at least it's not like a live thing. It is a touch screen type thing, but it's not like
It's not like your
actually.
iPhone.
It's not like an iPhone or like
gotcha.
the Wii U controller. In that regard, that's what your Vita is going to do.
I just thought it was interesting that we could have the possibility of seeing an increase in game prices and peripheral prices and stuff like that.
I don't know. I think it was funny. Everybody was griping about the PlayStation Eye. And they were like, "Oh, it's not coming with the PS4." And I'm like, "Who cares? You're all going to trade it in anyways."
Right?
Like, none of you are going to use it. Everybody was bitching about it. I'm like, which one of you use it? Who has the PlayStation 3 Eye right now out of all you people griping? And you use it every day. Like, you just wanted it so you could buy it and then come to the store. Look, I don't fucking use this. It's a piece of shit. Trade it in for $15 and then bitch at me because you don't like the fact I got 100 of them in my fucking back stock.
What about the rumor that, I don't know if it was 2 pricing SKUs or it was just going to be cheaper, but Xbox One is rumored to be $50 cheaper than the announced price.
That would be awesome, but I haven't heard anything.
That would be fucking awesome.
And it's coming down. I saw rumors that it was either just going to be $50 cheaper, or you could get the package that was going to be missing something. I don't know if it was the controller or if it was a peripheral or I don't know what it was, but it was going to be $50 cheaper.
If it's the controller, then it's not $50 cheaper because they're going to shaft you because you can't use the system without a controller. So
You could use the
not for the Kinect to
stuff.
play games. Not every game. Not for Call of Duty. You want to play Call of
No.
Duty day one? You ain't using the
But
Kinect.
you could use your Xbox as...
Potentially.
You could use it as your cable box. You could use it to watch movies. You could do Netflix. You could do a lot without the controller.
I don't see them doing it. It might be something later down the road.
I don't know. I
can imagine
don't remember what it was, but I remember this rumor. I seeing something. Xbox One $50 cheaper than normally announced or something.
But I heard that they're actually making the Xbox a little bit more powerful. So it might be the other way around.
They've already made those things. They're sitting in
Yeah, that's
boxes
what
in
I
a warehouse
thought.
somewhere. There's no way they could start making them now.
I've heard from a couple people that they're
Well, no,
improving the
those
Those
specs
people are
somehow.
idiots.
No,
That's what I
they're
understand
they're
is-
still in production. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but they've already spec'd them out. They're not going to.
Yeah, but nothing's changing
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, the physical hardware, there's nothing they can change this late in the game. The only thing they could do is reflash spec software.
If anything, they need to respect their system because right now PlayStation's spanking them because PlayStation's more geared towards the actual gaming aspect of its console, whereas the Xbox, from what I've read, is more geared towards the apps and content.
Now, I
of the
have
system
read
itself.
some people were a little upset that they released the specs on the PS4, a lot of detailed stuff, and it was coming out that some of the RAM is dedicated. Like, everybody was like, oh man, it's got so much RAM and stuff like that. Not all of that is dedicated. A lot of it is, not all of it is free. Some of it is wrapped up permanently, dedicated towards GPU and CPU, and there's only a little bit free there. So it not like the full 8 or whatever is open.
Well,
And
they're
that does
saying
make a difference.
Well, they're saying majority of it's wrapped up in game content, though. It's made for games. It's not made for the Netflix part of it, or it's not made for the internet browser part of it.
Yeah, well, go ahead. You've been waiting.
The thing is, people always complain about that, and typically it's the people who don't understand all that. Sony wouldn't put the system out if it wouldn't function properly, if it was going to run like crap. They have that set up that way for a very specific reason. I'm sure it's a good reason.
It's going to be a powerhouse, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people are like, oh man, it's got, all of this, this, and this, and this. But, you can have a really, really awesome car, but, if some of the stuff isn't tuned right, it's not going to function the way you thought it was going to.
Yeah, but they're going to tune it right.
My big thing about it is everyone, not saying everyone, but this whole, the PS3 or PS4 is stronger than the Xbox One. Is it strong enough to truly make a difference to me? Besides certain games, obviously, yes, PS4 is going to have bigger games like the PS3 had towards the Xbox 360, but, Call of Duty is going to play the same on either system.
Does it matter at this point anymore?
Well, that's my thing. Does it truly matter? Obviously, yes, they're going to be more powerful games, like we saw with The Last of Us.
Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain. Yeah, obviously there's going to be games that it will function differently for. I get that, but for predominant groups of people, Call of Duty is going to run the same way. Titanfall, if it ever gets a port over, which I've heard that they might do. These main big games that people are system buyers, Call of Duties, stuff like that. Is Infamous going to look 1,000 times better than what, Sunset Overdrive is going to look like? Despite graphic differences when it comes to, cell shading to, something else. Is it really that big of a span that's going to,
We won't know until they come out, though. Yeah. And that's the thing is, from sites so far, not really. And from what we know, from what we have, not really. But you don't know until we get the new systems in our houses and we're all sitting there playing stuff on them.
Kingdom Hearts. Is Kingdom Hearts going to look different for PS4 to PS3? Yes, there might be a slight difference, but is it going to be that big?
Well, yeah, because they're not doing it for PS3.
For whatever.
I've seen them where they put that, they do the comparisons, and they show the two videos next to each other, and it never seemed like it was that big a difference. The thing will be in loading times. It will be in, how much can they get out of the system, with the behind the scenes stuff going on is really going to be the main thing. And again, it's going to be all the bells and whistles is really going to be when it comes down to computing power.
I saw something I found to be funny from Battlefield 3. They showed a PC screenshot and it had more trees in the background for the PS3 or the 360 or something. And that was the thing they were saying. This is why it's better because there's more trees in the background.
Yeah, stuff like that. Definitely.
Who cares?
Well, that's that goes to the same thing. The PS3 was a stronger console, right?
Yeah.
So when I play a game like The Last of Us, why the fuck does it take 9 million years for the game to load? That game takes. Granted, you get one load screen, but that one load screen is enough for a whole game. Is that is the PS4 gonna finally break that? Is that gonna finally be the deciding factor? But is a loading point to you what kills a console? It doesn't for me. I don't give a shit.
Right.
It can kill a game.
Exactly. Does it kill the game or does it kill the console? Is it gonna make you get an Xbox One over a PS4? And that's kind of that's my general what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I will say, though, that Last of Us has absurd loading screens now. But, no, I don't care about loading screens. If the game's amazing, then I don't give a shit if it takes 45 minutes for it to load. If it plays for the next 8 hours super smooth and the game is literally fucking an emotional roller coaster, then I'm fine with it taking an hour and a half to load. The thing that I want, though, is to be able to play while it's installing. That is the thing that my biggest gripe with my PS3 is I hate installing games. I hate having to sit there and wait 30 minutes for the damn game
and
to install before I play. Yeah, well, they're claiming, from one of the things I read, that the PS4 you'll be able to play while installing.
I think that's one of the new features. So, all right, we've been going quite a while, so let's wrap this up. Thank you for joining us for episode 12. Please hit our website at 8bitbastards.com, and you have to spell out the word 8. Check out our YouTube channel, and you can listen there. Please go to our fan website Facebook page and like us. Subscribe on iTunes, and maybe send us a comment and let us know if you like the new music for Season 2. Anything else?
Twitter. Twitter.
We have a Twitter account as well.
Tweets. We twat.
Twitter on your Facebook.
Whoa. With that, say goodbye, guys.
Bye. See you.